Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Let's talk about future Prophecy Club plans. First of all, let me start with I guess it's about a page that I wrote up that I plan to be sending off to several different book publishers, telling them why they really want to publish this book. So I've entitled it, Why I Think the Secret Door of Prophecy, which is the title of the new book that I'm in the process of writing, will break records in book sales. I think that this book could well sell over 10 million copies, and I'm about to tell you folks listening the 4 reasons why I think that will happen. Saturday, April 7th, 6:22, I woke up and I heard the Lord speak to my heart, no audible voice, but he spoke to my heart and said, "The life you have always dreamed of living has arrived." I think that has to do with the book. Okay, so I began to ask myself, all right, well, and by the way, as soon as I heard that, the life you've always dreamed of living, I somehow in the spirit knew that that was referring to all of the promises that God has made me through mostly dreams that he's given me over, past 15 years. So I asked myself, so what is the life that I have really always dreamed of living? Well, the answer is teaching Bible prophecy. That's not preaching, and that's not necessarily doing radio or TV or some other things through the last 24 years that I've been doing. My heart is to teach Bible prophecy, and I believe that that is coming very soon once this book is out. So let me read part of what I've written that I would send to a possible publisher. I've been studying Bible prophecy for about 40 years, teaching it 30 years, and doing a radio and sometimes television program on it for 24 years. I've organized over 2,000 speaking engagements and hundreds of speaking tours on Bible prophecy for our guest speakers. Now, you understand why I'm saying this, because they don't know me. And they certainly don't know that I know anything about Bible prophecy or why they should spend money on printing a book for some guy they don't know. So I'm telling them a little bit about me. These 160 guest speakers have made over 330 DVDs, all on Bible prophecy, at my organization and supervision. I recorded 36 DVDs, and I recently memorized the book of Revelation and in the process of also memorizing Daniel. So my first reason, I know Bible prophecy. In 1970, Hal Lindsey published The Late Great Planet Earth, a simple book bringing simple information that in 1970 was needed. It basically gave an example of history, then showed how it was fulfilled in Bible prophecy. Most Americans in 1970 didn't know the Bible foretold the future, so it provided the information that the public needed at the time. And from 1970 to 1990, it sold over 28 million copies. Then, of course, we have The Harbinger, which is a 2012 best-selling Christian novel by Rabbi Jonathan Cahn, a Messianic Jew, and it suggests that the 9/11 terrorism attack was a divine warning to the United States. Cahn ties the 9/11 attacks to a section of Isaiah 9, which describes God vowing to destroy ancient Israel for persistent disobedience towards him and ignoring the warnings he had sent them. The public was amazed to see ancient Bible prophecies speaking to their modern world. So my second reason is, Hal Lindsey introduced the world to Bible prophecy and sold millions. Jonathan Cahn reintroduced the modern world to ancient Bible prophecy. This book will also introduce a secular world to Bible prophecy, but every Jew and Christian will find it necessary to read the secret prophecy placed in the Bible just for them. A secret the Jews were told was there, and the Christians will recognize, but none have seen. No one has been shown this. No one. This secret has been hidden for almost 2,000 years. There has never been a book on Bible prophecy like this one. Third reason. For almost 3,500 years, every Jew has been keeping the feasts. They know them. But to the non-Christian, Easter is about Easter egg hunting. To the Christian, it is celebrating the resurrection of Christ. But to the Jew, it is celebrating Passover and unleavened bread, two of the feasts they are commanded to observe each year. They are all connected to the feasts, but they don't know there is a secret hidden in them. They will read this book. Jews know the feasts foretell the future. They teach that they are a foreshadow of things to come or a rehearsal. This book will show the secret half prophecy found in the feasts, and every Jew is going to have to read this book. It will give meaning to the feasts that they have been keeping for over 3,500 years. Most of the Gentile church is only lightly familiar with the prophecies of the last days, partly because they're confused about the order and the timing of the prophecies. To many Christians, Revelation seems like a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Yet, within the New Testament, the book of Revelation, God put the other half of the secret prophecy, the secret which will give order and timing. So, once and for all, they will finally understand the prophecies like never before. Fourth reason, let's liken the two hidden prophecies to a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. It's like the Jews were given the puzzle box with the picture on the front, but not given the pieces inside the box. Whereas the Gentiles were given the pieces inside the box, but not the picture on the front. They are both searching for the answer that is only found in this book. They need this book and the Torah and Revelation to see the secret prophecy. This book will show them the secret prophecy, so both the Jews and the Christians and non-Christians will find many answers in the Bible, answers hidden for some 3,500 years. And I've also put a bonus reason. If you think it is possible for God to speak to people today, then I can tell you He does. On Sunday, March 11th, 2018, I was at our church early. I was encouraging some of our congregation members to come and hear me speak that following Saturday night to make the next DVD. In the middle of the sentence, all of a sudden, in a blink, I saw a vision. I saw that I was to write this book and that this book will be very popular. This is a book to fill God's kingdom. He gave it to me, and I could not have known the most important parts of this book without the visions and revelations He gave. And I put them into this book. Blessed be the name of Him that sitteth upon the throne and to the Lamb. Now I'm going to give you 16 of the 30 secrets that will be found in this book. Why not all 30? Well, it's one of the things He spoke to my heart is that He didn't allow me to put many of the secrets in any of the 3 last DVDs because they're too complicated. As I began to talk to people just in normal conversation, people, close friends, prophecy students, years studying Bible prophecy, I go through some of these, and it's over their head. Because some things can't be learned by just listening, or even seeing a DVD, or even seeing charts. Some things have to be in a book, and that's what He's spoken to my heart. Many of the things that He's shown me have to be put in a book. That's what it's going to take for people to understand it. But I'm going to go ahead and read 16 of the 30 secrets that this book will reveal. The barley harvest of 144,000 is sealed before the locusts are loosed. The 144,000 walking on Mount Zion will take place specifically on the 17th day of the first month to the Jewish calendar. Again, we don't know the year, but I'll cover that in the book. It will confirm the day and the hour that no man knoweth has arrived. The barley is ripe. The first sliver of the new moon has been spotted for the last time in Jerusalem. The 144,000 is the shout, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. The lamp spoken of in Leviticus 24:1 portrays our glorified bodies. All water on earth is undrinkable 96 hours before it is done. That's a long time to be able to explain to you how I know that. The sun goes nova and burns out and goes dark 72 hours before Jesus returns. Only the barley and wheat harvests go to the marriage supper of the Lamb. There's 9 days of gathering tares for Armageddon, and 1 evening and morning for the morning star burning, which is the day of the Lord. The Christian wheat harvest is exactly and precisely 50 days after the Hebrew barley harvest, and both go to the marriage supper of the Lamb on Pentecost. Jesus is coronated at the marriage supper, receives a vesture dipped in his own blood, labeled King of Kings and Lord of Lords, receives many crowns, and leads his armies in heaven with the barley and the wheat harvests to Armageddon. Atonement is the great white throne, the judgment seat of Christ, opening of the books, casting the bad away. Tabernacles is Jesus gathering the good into our mansions. All nations are destroyed by fire from God out of heaven, or the morning star, at the end of the millennium. The 7 vials are the last 7 days before Armageddon, and much, much more. I liken this secret prophecy to a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. The Jews were given the box with the picture on the front, but not the pieces. The Gentiles were given the pieces, but not the picture. Both are frustrated, and this book will give them answers. Answers that they have been needing for thousands of years. There are pieces of prophecies scattered throughout the scriptures, but the specific link to the 2 halves is found in the Torah and Revelation, and the key to link them is given in this book. The Jews have kept the feasts. They have lived them, taught them, carried them around for some 3,500 years, but since they don't have the pieces in the box, looking at the front of the box has been useless. God specifically put a prophecy in the feasts to bring a great blessing to his people in the last days. Until the Jews are willing to accept the God of I Am that spoke to Moses and also spoke to John the Revelator, they will continue to keep the feasts in frustration, knowing that they are a mikra, a shadow of things to come, knowing they are a rehearsal, but never seeing the secret that God put in the feasts to point them to the book of Revelation and to the New Testament and to Jesus, their Messiah. To the Gentiles, well, the Gentiles have the pieces of the puzzle, the prophecies of Revelation, but it's like the box was thrown in the air like a deck of 52 cards scattered all over the room. The Gentiles find the pieces and say, wow, look at that. Look at what God has given us. Oh, thank you, Lord. But they can't fit them together. They don't know the order, the sequence, or the timing, and they fuss at each other over which piece goes in what order. It has brought division. They know they have something of a great importance, but they can't fit them together until this book. The Gentiles will quickly see the link to create the picture on the front of the book. When they see the overlay, it will set the church free. The Jews will rejoice to finally discover the secret prophecy in their feasts, and many will find Jesus as Messiah as a result. Finally, no one gets their name in the book of life for keeping the feast. However, the feasts still present a wonderful picture and should, out of love, be kept. Keeping the feast will help us to see the whole point of all creation, and that is the return of Jesus as King of Kings and Lord of Lords at even on the last day of trumpets, followed by 5 days of judgment during atonement, and the great arrival of the New Jerusalem at even on the first day of tabernacles. Now let's talk about Watchmen's trumpet. One of the things that I feel like God has laid on my heart, I know God has laid on my heart, is to form Watchmen's trumpet. It's going to be a whole new website, and we're going to have all of our videos pulled from YouTube. Shortly, by the way, either by DVD or by Watchmen's trumpet, will soon be the only place our videos can be viewed. Now, let me explain. We're not actually removing them from people's access, but rather ensuring they will be available. I guess you have heard that more than one Christian ministry has had their YouTube channel, their YouTube videos, or their information pulled from YouTube. It's no secret that YouTube and many of the other large internet companies are anti-Christian. At least this is what is reported to me. I can't prove that, but it certainly sounds like from the reports I hear. We don't want to have all of them up on YouTube for in one day, all of a sudden, YouTube to just cancel them, and now people have no access. So Watchmen's Trumpet is going to be a way where they will not only have access to all of our videos, our past recordings, but also all of the new recordings that I'm doing, which we're now calling Stan's Office, and also our radio programs, all in one place. And we're going to have a way for you to be able to send them DVD or Stan's Office recordings, as we're now calling them, or radio programs out to your friends via email. A way to assure access apart from Google or YouTube, out of the control of the international bankers, in my opinion. Now, let's talk about, which, by the way, I guess I should go on to say, Watchmen's Trumpet's going to cost about $120,000. And he's asked us to send him $5,000 every month. I sent the $5,000, but now I have not had the money to send the second $5,000. And really, we need to be sending him more than $5,000 because he's thinking he can have it ready to go in maybe even 6 months, but hopefully even 3 or 4 months. But he wants $90,000 to already be in his hand by the time he lets it go live. We only put $5,000 toward that. And I also have to say, as a confirmation, when I wrote the last $5,000 check, frankly, it was a little scary to write that because we don't have that kind of money at Prophecy Club. But on the very day that the $5,000 cleared our account, a group of people had sent in, and we actually had deposits of exactly $5,000 to hit on the same day, meaning God is in the Watchmen's Trumpet, meaning God is going to provide the financing, and I believe he will bless you when you bless Watchmen's Trumpet and Prophecy. All right, now let's go on to the last, one more thing. If you want to give to Watchmen's Trumpet, if you'll let us know that this goes to Watchmen's Trumpet, or if you'll make the last digit of your gift a 7, then we'll know this goes for Watchmen's Trumpet. And for at least a brief period of time, we're going to give you double credit on Watchmen's Trumpet. Meaning, let's say you sent, a $1,000 donation, but you made it 1007. That would tell us that that's for Watchmen's Trumpet. And you would not just get $1,000 worth of credits on Watchmen's Trumpet. You get 2,000. Now, here's the way it works. Some videos would need 5 credits, 4, 3, 2, all the way down to 1 credit. That's based upon the popularity of that DVD. So let's say you went up, put $2,000 into credits. That would mean that you would be able to have, actually free viewing. Let's put it this way. That's kind of complicated. Let's say you put $500 towards credits. And I don't have all the numbers right in front of me, but that probably would mean you would be able to send out our DVDs for email through to your friends for viewing anywhere for about $1 to $2 per video for them to view. So it's a really good deal, and we're going to be getting it set up here shortly. But we do need your help. I do need to send them at least another $5,000. Really, I ought to send them $10,000 or $20,000. And I believe God will speak to your heart, and I believe God will bless you powerfully if you help us. Because it's not about Prophecy Club. It's really not even about those recordings. What it really is taking God's warning to 198 countries around the globe. That's what he's shown me. This thing is going to explode. It's going to reach nations all around the globe, all by email. Now let's talk about oil in Israel. As you know, one of our goals is to go and drill and find and present oil to Israel. The business arrangement that will finance prophetic oil going over to drill, I'm told, is very near. Now, yes, I have heard it's very near before, and it wasn't able to close. But I have never heard this many positive things. So when it closes, here's what I plan to do. I plan to go to Israel and pray over 3 different locations that I want to drill in: a northern, a central, and a southern location. And I believe that when we pray over them, that dream that I had about where there was a really deep earthquake that allowed oil to flow into the formation, and all of a sudden a bunch of dry holes all of a sudden had oil. In other words, God is going to supernaturally give oil in a day to Israel, i.e. through what we're doing. And, of course, all that's going to have to take prayer, and we urge you to join our Fast Track team so that you can fast and pray that all this comes to pass. And upon getting this thing to close, we also plan to place our order from anywhere from 3 to as many as 6 rigs. Each one of the rigs costs about $32 million each, and these rigs are huge, about 4 city blocks at the base, 22 stories tall. Takes about 180 18-wheel trucks to move them. About 2 months to move it to Israel, about a month to assemble it, and then it's not designed to be unassembled. This kind of a rig is designed to walk like a duck to the next location to drill. It's designed to take into a place where you plan to punch a lot of holes, and that's what we plan to do. Now, I have to give a disclaimer anytime I talk about oil in Israel. That is, we cannot guarantee that we will ever get the money drilled for or hit oil in Israel. However, I also want to say that I believe that God was the voice that I heard on July the 21st of 2008. In my prayer closet before prayer time, I was in Amarillo out on an 18-city speaking tour talking about oil in Israel. Before I went to bed, I said, Lord, I certainly hope you're pleased with these prophecy meetings because we're spending about $3,500 per seat in advertising, and not many are showing up, not many are getting saved. I hope you're pleased with what we're doing. That night, in the night, I heard words. Can't believe that the devil would say this, so I have to assume it's God. I heard words. I mean audible words. And those words said, Stan, I will give you the money to drill the well in Israel. Well, I answered back. I said, the oil well in Israel? I asked a question. But there was no answer. It was like, son, I said all I'm going to say. Be blessed with what I said. Meaning, I think that we are close. I think we're close on a lot of things. I think that Prophecy Club is about to change drastically for all of the reasons I just said. That same night, when he said, Stan, I will give you the money to drill the well in Israel, I don't generally talk about this much, but that wasn't all that happened that night. For the rest of the night, it was like all night long, I was sitting in a desk and I was going to school, and the Lord kept talking to me and showing me many things all night long. And part of what he showed me, I kept seeing Prophet Leslie, my wife, hold up a newspaper, which had the headline, Omer ushers in Palestinian state. I didn't have a dream nor see her voice, but just all night long, God impressed on me that when these prophecies start coming to pass, people will know for sure that God has spoken to your wife, is the way he said it, and all the rest of the prophecies given to her are also from him, and people from all directions will begin to turn and to listen to your ministry. So let me reiterate what those headlines were. These are the headlines leading to the fall of America. And they are, and this is the order that they were given. People keep asking me, tell me the order that she was actually given them. Okay, so here's the order. Israel refuses help to America. Omer ushers in Palestinian state. Catastrophe hits America. One of America's greatest times of need. Israel is attacked. America sends troops. Chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel. Then she heard my voice, quoting Dimitri Duduman, the fall of America will start with an internal revolution, started by the communists. She said that Americans became furious. They were mad. They were mad at the government, mad at the Jews, mad at the Muslims. They were just mad at everything. Brothers and sisters, I think that could be pretty close. I do not, however, think that the issue with Syria is going to lead to Russia attacking America. Part of the reason is, part of the prophecy says that Israel is attacked, America sends troops. So the event that starts World War III has nothing to do with Syria, at least not directly. What it has to do with is Israel. When we see Israel is attacked and America sends troops, that's when people begin to protest all across America. Why are you helping the Israelis? Why are you helping them Jews? They didn't help us. We had that big catastrophe. We called for the world to help us, and they didn't help us. Why are we helping Israel? Let me read those headlines again. Israel refuses to help America. Omer ushers in Palestinian state. Catastrophe hits America. One of America's greatest times of need. Israel's attacked, America sends troops. Chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel. Then she heard my voice, quoting Dmitri, "It will start with an internal revolution." Now, in closing today, I need your help. I need your prayers, but I also need your financial help. We need to send that $5,000 off for that Watchmen's trumpet. Might add, we need several other things. So if God has blessed you, and if Prophecy Club has blessed you, and if you feel like this is all part of God's plan, would you consider helping us? We do need that $5,000, really, $10,000 or $20,000 to send off to Watchmen's Trumpet. We need to get that going. And there's some other things at Prophecy Club. We do need your prayers. We also do need your financial gifts. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for all of the unsung heroes. Nobody knows, but you've been faithful. You send, and you give, and you give, and you send. Thank you. We do see it. Even more important, the Lord sees it. And when you give to one of His ministries that cannot repay, then He is obligated, and He will repay. But He doesn't repay dollar for dollar, brothers and sisters. He repays many times over. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your gifts of support. God bless. Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. Dr. Bree Keaton just made a brand new DVD, and I love it. It's called Is Trump or Patrick Henry? Now, it's not a political talk. Bree's mother was a descendant of the patriot Patrick Henry. She reveals shocking, never-released private family records and bloodlines and gives you the true story of how God used Patrick Henry to save America. Dr. Bree holds 2 doctorates, prayer walked 50 countries spanning 6 continents, but what she does in this talk is lift your spirits, encourages you. To me, I think she helped me to see more clearly where we are and where we're going, because most of history has already repeated itself. And those that don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. I promise you will like this DVD. Is Trump by Patrick Henry? Gift of $30, prophecyclub.com. Matter of fact, I think they got a gift offer going on it now. Is Trump by Patrick Henry? prophecyclub.com. The Watchmen's Trumpet will allow you to gift free coupons to friends to watch Prophecy Club DVDs online. They get saved, and it counts toward your book of works because it was done in cooperation with the Prophecy Club. When you donate for Watchmen's Trumpet, end your gift in a 7, and we'll give you 20% extra viewing credits for helping create the program. The cost to write the program ranges from $70,000 to $150,000 from 2 to 6 months to write. Once Watchmen's Trumpet is online, you can set up your account for $1 and get 4 credits, or you may choose a larger block of credits. You can immediately begin to watch any Prophecy Club DVD or send out free gift coupons to others. Send your best gift to prophecyclub.com now to help us write the program. Make the last digit of your donation a 7, and we'll give you 20% extra viewing credits in the new Watchmen's Trumpet program when it comes online. At prophecyclub.com. prophecyclub.com, Watchmen's Trumpet.